So my passion is teaching pranayama. I find that pranayama has been really lost in a lot of yoga classes today, and I find it's really the heart of yoga. It's the heart of the practice, because in every other culture, breath is synonymous with life force energy. And today, when we are stressed, typically we don't breathe. And when we don't breathe, we are blocking life itself from moving in and out of the body. And we can see that it manifests in so many physical ways. But I notice as students do breath work more and more regularly, they say increased health, better sleep. They see that their mind has become more calm, and that overall they just feel like they have more energy. I love to teach breathwork because I know it's the bridge between mind and body, and the biggest illness that we see today is that people have no control over their mind, and it's the mind that creates suffering. So most of our suffering is self-made. It's made by an attachment to our thoughts. And why do we think so much? It's because we don't breathe deeply. When we breathe deeply, it keeps the mind centered, and so it's so powerful to learn how to breathe deep. Breathing is a master key to optimum health. In classes, we teach several different exercises. Several are invigorating. They help to tone the muscles involved in breath. Several are detoxifying through the mouth. They're not very pretty, but they help to clean our bodies. And several are to help train the mind to be in the present moment. So it's thoughts that create emotions, and emotions that create a physical response in the body. So if I'm thinking a sad thought, it's going to create a sad emotion inside the body. And if I don't catch it there with awareness, it's going to eventually create a sad physical response, like you're dumping more stress hormone inside the body. Now if I think of a happy thought, it creates happy emotion, happy physical response. So we begin to release endorphins. So everything starts with our thought process. Today people are unconscious. They're stuck in mind, they're stuck in ego. It's that they're stuck with an attachment to their thought process. They think that they're the thoughts themselves. And really, the essence of who we are is so much deeper. And when we connect to that state, when we connect to being, this new consciousness is rising, where we begin to be able to witness our own thought process, and we begin to be able to filter what we think about, and we're able to let go so many thoughts that don't serve us. That's when we begin to have freedom. Moksha. Moksha means freedom, freedom from oneself. It's that the mind is still there, but you are no longer so attached to it. Every thought that's coming through, you're able to process it, filter it. And we know how far we are on our path according to the degree of peace that we feel inside. Eckhart Tolle says that when we become still, physically and mentally, that's when we can begin to feel peace. So from stillness arises peace. And in that peace is where we begin to feel joy flowing. And in that joy is the expression of love. Love is flowing from joy. And deep inside that love is where we tap into that which we can't name. It's hard to almost say the word God because it's been misused so many times, and it contains the uncontainable. To me, the infinite is so big and powerful and beautiful, it's hard to even capture it in a word. And the word contains it in the mental aspect, and God can only be known in the heart. And so we tap into that space through feeling, through becoming still. We can't know God by the mind, we'll only know God in the heart, and we can know God by becoming still. The art of breath work helps us to reconnect with that source energy, and then we reconnect and we feel like we're home. And that's really the goal of yoga. It's the union between body, mind, and spirit. Where today so much of our culture teaches us to have a separation between the three, So body, mind are the same, and as we work towards healing the body and making the body whole and strong, the body no longer reminds us of itself, and then we can tap into the mind. And then as we train the mind to become disciplined, as we realize there's actually no mind, there's only thoughts. And we can learn to train our thoughts to go in whatever direction we like. We recognize there's no mind, and then we tap into that deeper source. And then we recognize we're actually the witness of the body, witness of the mind, and that's when we reconnect with our spirit. That's why breath is such an essential part of the practice. Otherwise, if we don't focus on the breathing, the practice just becomes just another exercise. As we tap into the breath is the bridge between mind and body. And remembering that if we are trying to go deeper into our spiritual path, breath is the non-physical aspect of your being. Somebody asked me once, what does it mean to be spiritual? And I said, understanding spirit. How do you understand spirit was their next question. And I said, understanding and connecting to the part of you that's non-physical. And what would that be? It's the breath, right? It moves through you, you can feel it, but you could never put it in my hand. So breath is the part of you that's not physical. So breath is the spiritual aspect of your being. And every time we're on our breath, we are lighting more and more of that fire to bring more and more of our awareness to our being versus our mind. And so every time you focus on your breath, it's like putting money in the bank. You're increasing your spiritual awareness. And so energy is never created or destroyed, it's just shifted. And today our biggest problem is that we're stuck in mind consciousness. We're stuck in the mind. We put all of our energy in the mind, and so there's no energy to light the flame of presence. But every time we're present and we're focused on our breath, we begin to shift energy to awareness, and we're lighting that candle, and eventually that light is growing, 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 growing. We have a fire of awareness. And as that happens, the mind energy is less. And over time, we connect and we stay connected to that awareness, and that is the whole goal.